Yo, what's going on, y'all? You're back. I'm your host, Paco. You're listening to Occupied Media. Actually, right now on Fox News, Google's self-driving vehicle approved for tests on Nevada roads. So, yeah, you always wondered about the day it'll come when you don't have to drive your car no more and the car's going to drive it for you. Well, we're there. It's happening. All right, so let's keep it moving. What else is going on? Activist post, U.S. military conducts realistic urban training exercises in Miami. So this is at activistpost.com. Miami residents were startled to hear the sound of low-flying military helicopters and explosions emanating from the abandoned Grand Bay Hotel in the early hours of Tuesday morning. It turns out that the United States military was conducting a realistic urban training exercise involving some 100 soldiers organized by the U.S. Special Operations Command. This is just one of many military exercises being held on American soil in recent years, including an interagency exercise conducted in my local area of Los Angeles. And I think I know what he's talking about because I put that clip on YouTube where in Los Angeles they were flying around in the helicopters, no doors on the helicopters, military, landing on the top of bank buildings and stuff. My attempts to obtain any information on that drill were thwarted and or ignored by the L.A. Police Department. Let's see here. So, yeah, man, Miami now has got it going on. Let's see here. Jane Murrell, a Miami resident who was awoken at around 1:45 a.m. by the din of military helicopter blades slicing through the air, quote, "It was quite a shocking experience," Murrell said, referring to the helicopters which later dropped soldiers onto the roof of the Grand Bay Hotel, according to the Miami Herald. "It was kind of that bizarre feeling that you were surrounded by wind," she added. Murrell said she watched soldiers shoot flares and smoke bombs from her third-floor balcony, after which they searched the hotel floor by floor. "The show of force was so overwhelming," she said, referring to the heavy gunfire and aggressive tactics she witnessed. Major Michael Burns, a spokesperson for the U.S. Army, said that the exercise involved around 100 military personnel, 3 military helicopters, and the use of so-called simulated explosions and gunfire. Quote, "They have to train in a realistic environment," Burns said. Of course they do, because they're going to be implementing it to us, to Americans. Okay, what else? Quote, "We didn't use any real bullets," he said in an attempt to reassure the public, although in my opinion, this is far from reassuring. Unannounced drills involving explosions and what would appear to be live fire in an urban area is hardly something which would keep the American people calm and collected. The Miami police were told to keep quiet about the exercises until late Monday, reportedly for security reasons. Quote, "It was the federal government's call on what was being done. We were courteously advised," Miami Commissioner Mark Sarnoff said. "This position is nothing short of insane. How can this commissioner, whose district includes Coconut Grove, honestly think that it is a courtesy for the federal government to inform the citizens of Miami that they would be conducting a potentially shocking, aggressive military drill?" Let's see, anything else going on here? Murrell was one of the likely many people who was not pleased by the surprising and frightening exercise. Quote, "I thought it was kind of rude, to tell you the truth," Murrell said. "One neighbor was swearing he was so annoyed," she added. Burns said that the drill was carried out safely and quickly despite all the concerns and anxiety shared by the local residents who witnessed the event. "It seems very high drama, but to us it's kind of simple," Burns said. However, it is not clear why they had to wait until the last moment to tell residents or why they had to give it so little attention. What kind of situation could have unfolded from citizens knowing about the drill that would put these armed soldiers' safety in jeopardy? Well, they don't want people to know. They wanted to be quiet about, not get no media coverage. The mainstream media ain't talking about this. They didn't talk about the one that happened in L.A. That was on the local news, never talked about again. The local news can't even get answers out of the government about what's going on. How are we going to get it? It's getting crazy, man. Matter of fact, university is told to prepare for evacuees during NATO summit. I want to play this clip real quick.
Does your phone give you
all right, we'll wait for this ad to go by. But yeah, man, you guys check out on YouTube, Paco757, that video with Los Angeles. They're conducting exercises everywhere, and they're getting ready, and they're preparing. And if the people are willing to get groped by the TSA and let their kids get groped, which I just came across this headline, baby, 18 months old, ordered off a plane. 18 months, says she's a terrorist. Fort Lauderdale Airport. If we let them do that, why won't they do this?
The
This is where the shelter would be.
Inside the Rice Fitness Center at Benedictine University is the designated area for a Red Cross emergency shelter.
All the bleachers would be pushed back against the walls.
And cots would cover the floor. Some are already stored in a Red Cross van parked in the university garage.
Each one of these has a blanket, first aid kits.
How many have you been told to prepare for?
The number that we've been given, roughly 1,000.
Benedictine is one of dozens of colleges, universities, community centers, or churches standing by just in case Chicagoans must be evacuated from their homes because of violence or any other reason connected to the NATO summit.
Whether it be for a couple hours, because they haven't been able to contact a family member, to overnight.
If so, people will have access to showers. Volunteers like Joan Hennahan have already signed up to help, and she's recruiting more. Those who volunteer must be prepared for what?
They need to be able to spend the night. It's long shifts. It can be you're meeting with people that you don't know.
Now, at this point, Red Cross officials are not saying which facilities will be used as shelters. But if the shelters are needed, they say the public will be notified. So you'll know where to go if you have to go
We need to
somewhere.
be prepared, but it's still sobering to hear all this about what they're planning for.
You know, they're saying, of course, it's one of those things where you're hoping for the best, but the just in case has got to be there.
It's prudent.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Dorothy.
Just in case. Always just in case. Always what if. Hey, what if a bunch of people were losing their jobs and a bunch of people were being killed overseas with our tax money? What if? Well, guess what? That's happening. It's crazy, man. Okay, so we're running out of time here soon. We got a few more minutes. Don't forget that I'll be on later on today, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys missed the headlines, you can catch me out on the podcast. I usually post it up on YouTube, Paco757. I want to play this clip, though, real quick before we end the show. This is a PAC that's running. This is an ad that's going to be ran for Thomas Massie, and he is a Ron Paul endorsed candidate. Let me go ahead and play this real quick. All right, man. All these dang on ads. Apologize for that. So we're going to wait for that to come up. You guys can check out what we just played at InfoWars about them running drills and the military conducts exercises in Miami. They're getting ready.
Politicians just don't get it. Wall Street banks get bailed out while our economy crumbles. But Thomas Massie, a proven conservative, is different. A true public servant. Massie slashed spending, cut red tape, and will pay down America's debt. A successful engineer, Thomas Massie has a blueprint that will bring jobs back. Thomas Massie, a conservative who will walk the walk. Liberty for All Super PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
All right, so that's a nice little ad for Thomas Massie running for office. So you guys can check him out. Let me see if they got his website up here. I don't see it listed right now. So yeah, you guys can Google him, Thomas Massie. That's from the Super PAC Liberty for All campaign ad. And so yeah, we got to get more of these Ron Paul supporters out there, man. We got to not just change Washington. So I don't live in Washington. We need to change at the local level, change the whole country so we can all feel it. All right, so also you guys check me out on Facebook, Paco Elijah, 2 words. Chat with me up there. Don't forget that we be in the chat room here while the show is on. Don't forget to donate if you haven't to RonPaul2012.com and to these candidates, multiple ones that are running for office. You know, give them your time, donate. Multiple ones have been on the show. And that was it. WarmanForCongress.com, Rick Williams for Senate.com, ChristopherDavid2012.com, GreenForCongress.com. So we need to get these people out here. You know, that's what we got to do. But yeah, we're coming up to the end of the show. We're coming up to the end of the show, and I want to thank you if you've been listening.